When we left the small pottery town of Imari this morning, we thought we were simply visiting another park in Kyushu. But what we discovered at Yoshinogari was a journey 2000 years back in time. Before today, my understanding of Japan was mostly about modern cities, bullet trains, technology, and efficiency. But Yoshinogari revealed us something much deeper. It showed us the lives of ordinary people who lived during the Yayoi period long before modern Japan existed.
Får inte tillbaka pengar. Jag betalade sillen som var ligga 5400 och det kostade 670.
Okay. Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Travel 60 Adventures. My name is Dylan and together with me, my wife, I have been exploring the world one destination at a time. So far, I have traveled to nearly 80 countries, experiencing different cultures, meeting amazing people, and discovering fascinating stories along the way. One country that captured my heart is Japan. I have visited Japan many times, and this is now my fifth visit. But this journey is special because we are exploring the beautiful southern island of Kyushu, a region rich in history, culture, nature, and unforgettable experiences. From ancient traditions and history sites to breathtaking landscape, delicious food, and hidden gems, we'll take you along on every step of our adventure. So, if you love travel, culture, history, and discovering places beyond the usual tourist routes, you are in the right place. Join us as we explore Kyushu and continue our journey around the world. And please do not forget to subscribe, like and share, and let's start the adventure together.
Itadakimasu.
Happy Valentine's Day. And we are in Wisconsin.
Så det var stort det nu.
Ja, vi ska upptäcka idag.
Vi ska över den här bron.
Ja. Och sen hitta då. Du promenerar på röda mattan.
Ja.
Yes.
Och medan ingen är här.
Aha, okej.
Han lånar dig direkt. Är du inte beredd från hotellet?
Vart?
Viper, vad ville du?
No, wifi.
Wifi. Och vi ska tillbaks dit och denna vägen.
På den där bilvägen? Är det?
Det är filvägen, ja.
Bilvägen. Då kan vi ta... Aha.
Nej, vi kan inte. Här är det inspärrat.
Okej. Vi har röda mattan. Så. Hela vägen kanske? Ja.
Vi går till de där byggnaderna. 400 år sedan.
2400 år gammal.
The only remains in the nation that allow us to trace the seven.
More than 2000 years ago, before there were samurai, shoguns, Kyoto or Tokyo, there were farming communities living in what is now Saga Prefecture on Kyushu Island. These people belonged to Japan's Yayoi period, a time when rice cultivation, metal tools, trade, and organized society were transforming the Japanese archipelago. The site we call Yoshinogari was not known to the modern world until large scale archaeological excavations began in 1986. Ironically, it was almost lost forever because the land was being prepared for industrial development. When archaeologists investigated, they discovered one of the largest and most important Yayoi settlements ever found in Japan. The industrial project was halted and a remarkable piece of history was saved.
Flyktingar.
Okej, okej.
Flyktingmottagning. Ser du hela vägen runt?
Ja, just det. Excavations revealed moats, watchtowers, storehouses, homes, cemeteries, and the remains of highly organized community. Archaeologists found evidence of social classes, leadership, trade with Korean Peninsula and China, religious rituals, and defensive structures, showing that this was far more than a simple farming village. Yoshinogari tells us that civilization in Japan did not suddenly appear with samurai. The rise of settled communities based on rice farming, the emergence of leaders and social hierarchy, the beginnings of organized government, connections between Japan, Korea, and China more than 2000 years ago, how people built defenses, stored food, and created religious traditions.
Det de uppskattade mest.
Some scholars have even suggested that Yoshinogari could be connected to the mysterious kingdom of Yamatai, ruled by the legendary queen Himiko, mentioned in ancient Chinese chronicles. While this remains debated, the possibility adds to the site's fascination. The biggest lesson of Yoshinogari is that every great nation has humble beginnings. When you stand on those grounds, you are looking at a society that was learning how to live together, grow food, trade, govern, and dream about the future. The foundations of modern Japan were being laid there centuries before castles and emperors dominated this historical record. Every nation has moments when it must choose between development and preservation. At Yoshinogari, Japan chose to protect a window into its past. Because of that decision, future generations can walk through reconstructed villages, climb watchtowers, and imagine how their ancestors lived, farmed, traded, and built communities. As a traveler, these are the moments I value most. We often visit famous landmarks, but places like Yoshinogari helps us understand the foundation of a society, the discipline, community spirit, and agricultural traditions that help shape ancient Japan still echo in the Japan we see today.
människor som lyssnar där så jag har tagit lite kort. Sen vill jag se om man kan gå in i den där som är längst upp. Här är soldiers ceremony.
Soldiers. The Yayoi period transformed Japan from a society of hunter-gatherers into a settled agricultural nation. Named after the district in Tokyo where its distinct utilitarian pottery was first discovered, the era is defined by the introduction of wet rice cultivation, metalworking, and structured social hierarchy. Agriculture. Immigrants from the Asian mainland and the Korean peninsula brought flooded rice cultivation to Japan. This allowed large-scale permanent settlements, often located in marshy lowlands or near rivers, and population booms. Metalwork. The Yayoi brought Japan into Bronze and Iron Ages. Bronze was primarily used for ritual objects like dotaku, ceremonial bells, while iron was used for weapons and agricultural tools like sickles. Pottery. Unlike the highly decorative code-marked yeoman pottery that preceded it, Yayoi pottery was smoother, thinner, reddish-brown, and created on a potter's wheel for practical everyday use. Dwellings. Peoples lived in raised floor wooden dwellings with thatched roofs to keep grain dry and safe from pests. What kind of a drum is this? This is a taiko drum, most likely a shrine-style drum placed in a historical setting. Taiko means simply big drum in Japanese. It is made of a hollowed wooden body, animal skin, usually cowhide, stretched tightly on both sides. Wooden drumsticks called bachi. The deep sound carries far, which is important historically. Why is it at Yoshinogari? Yoshinogari Historical Park creates Yayoi period, 300 BCE to 300 CE settlement. During the Yayoi period, rice farming began in Japan. Cultural influence came from the Asian mainland, China and Korea. Metal tools, weaving, and possibly drum traditions were introduced. Drums were used to signal danger, call people together, mark rituals, communicate between villages. So this drum represents early state formation of community organization. Cultural connection: China, Korea, and Japan. China. Ancient China had large ceremonial drums such as war drums, temple drums, court music drums. These existed thousands of years ago. Korea. Korea developed its own strong drumming traditions such as buk, barrel drum, and samulnori ensemble drums. Korea acted historically as a cultural bridge between China and Japan. Japan adapted and transformed these influences into taiko, festival drumming, Shinto shrine drums, later theatrical use, Noh and kabuki. Rather than copying Japan, localized the tradition and gave its own style and identity. Why does it look similar across these countries? Because there was migration across the sea. Trade routes existed. Rice agriculture spread from mainland Asia. Religious ideas, Confucianism, Buddhism spread as well. Musical instruments traveled with people. So the drum is part of the shared East Asian cultural heritage, but each country developed its own version. This drum is called a taiko in Japan. Similar drums exist in China and Korea during ancient times. People, farming techniques, and cultural practices moved across East Asia. Yoshinogari represent a period when Japan was receiving influence from the mainland. So this drum reflects the shared cultural history, not something isolated. Is it hypersensitive? No. The drum skin is stretched tightly, so it responds quickly to touch, but it is not electronically sensitive. It's purely acoustic. The power comes from tension of the skin, size of the drum body, resonance of the wood.
Och sen så hör jag den.
Class and conflict. Because rice surpluses allowed individuals to accumulate wealth, socioeconomic inequality emerged. This led to territorial disputes and the creation of defensive moated villages. States and kingdoms. Over time, individual villages consolidated into small kingdoms. By the end of the period, these kingdoms unified into larger polities like Yamatai, famously ruled by the shaman queen Himiko. Written history. The period marks Japan's very first appearance in written history. Chinese texts from the Han Dynasty mention Japan and describe its people. Queen Himiko is the earliest named historical documented individual in Japanese history. She ruled Yamatai Koku, a powerful chiefdom and confederation of roughly 30 kingdoms during the late Yayoi period. The shamaness queen rise to power. Following decades of intense warfare among regional kings, the people united and chose Himiko to rule around 190 CE. Her ascension immediately restored peace to the region. Sorcery and Kido. Chinese texts state that ruled through Kido, often translated as the way of demons or the way of ghosts. She was a spiritual medium who communicated directly with gods and spirits to guide state decisions. Life of speculations. Once crowned, Himiko lived in absolute isolation inside a heavily guarded fortress-like palace. She never married and was served by 1,000 female attendants. Only a single male servant was permitted to see her and provide food and transmit her divine decrees. Political co-rule. While Himiko focused on the spiritual realm, her younger brother acted as a political proxy, handling administrative, worldly and military affairs.
Alla dessa vapen.
Vapen,
Krigare.
vapenförråd.
Det luktar som kosor där inne. Det är riktigt vapen där inne. Det luktar som kosor. Ska vi gå till utgången? Den också kan man klättra upp.
Viewpoint. Observation där.
Och det börjar regna.
Okej. Vi ska gå igenom här.
Cold. Det här är lager.
approach. Nu är vi under the rain.
Jag har det.
Chinese connection. Fascinatingly, Himiko is entirely absent from Japan's oldest official histories, the Kojiki and Nihon Sohiki. Everything historians know about her comes from the Weisei, a Chinese dynasty history written in 297 CE. According to these Chinese records, Himiko sent multiple diplomatic missions to mainland China in 239 CE. The Wei Emperor recognized her sovereign legitimacy by granting her a golden seal and the prestigious title Rule of Wa, Friend of Wei. He also gifted her expensive textiles and 100 bronze mirrors, items that became sacred symbols of political authority in early Japan. The Great Yamatai Controversy. Where exactly was Himiko's kingdom located? The question has fueled Japan's biggest unresolved historical debate for centuries. The directions recorded in the Chinese Weisi are geographically contradictory, splitting modern historians into two fierce camps.
Är det Royal Pillow?
Royal Pillow.
Så man ska vara glad att någon hade en sån. Pillow.
Om du klagar och inte får bra kudde.
Ja. Precis.
Death and successor. When Himiko died around 248 CE, a massive earthen burial mound was raised for her, and hundreds of her servants were buried alongside her. A king briefly took her place, but the kingdom immediately plunged back into civil war. Order was only restored when Ayo, a 13-year-old girl from Himiko's lineage, was placed on the throne as the next shaman queen. Shortly after Ayo's reign, the kingdom of Yamatai vanished entirely from Chinese written records.
No eating here. Här satt de och lagade mat. Det var ganska kallt. Så att de inte frös.
Ja. Här är alla
Det var ingen AC.
tools.
Vill du att jag filmar när du går ut från huset? Så kan jag. Kom till byns hövding.
Byhövdingshus. Okej. What is this?
Kanske flytta runt sådär.
Torkar kött.
Ja, kanske.
Det här är fireplace. Är det exakt replika kopia?
Det är exakt. ställe som heter Tihang. Där hade de också samma teknik.
Och det här är en teknik som engelsmän använder, inte det? Jo, alltså du vet med små... Du tittar på de här taken.
Men det fanns inte ens engelsmän när de byggde här.
Ja, men alla olika civilisationer använder kanske samma teknik utan att vi visste om varandras existens. Jag vet.
Alla ser exakt likadant. En hövding.
Hövdingar. Okej.
Den där
Sängen.
Jag kan filma dig. Gå. Nej. Försök.
Jag måste krypa.
Ja. Kryp. Kryp. Kryp.
History is not just about kings and battles. It is about ordinary people, the farmers, craftsmen, traders, and families who built the foundations of a nation. Walking through Yoshinogari reminds us that every modern society stands on the shoulders of countless generations who came before.
Föreställa sig så här tidigare.
Whether we are in Japan, Sri Lanka, Sweden, India, or anywhere else in the world, archaeology tells the same story. People wanted safety, food, community, and a better future for their children. The tools and houses may have changed, but the human dream remains the same.
De är inte lätta. Jag tänkte ta en ovanför mig, men de är inte så.
崖のある場所や池や川などは戦時からお子様から
du har en lång vatten. Bara 40 kilometer. Om du bara sprang i mitten då är det... Sen ska vi celebrata med lite vatten att vi äntrade Kansas City. Skål och välkommen. Ding. Container.
This is our newly found home. Absolutely fantastic. Look at the bed, how good it is. And look at the whole interior. You have a TV, and you have a microwave, you have some refrigerator, nice table, have chair to sit. So you got everything. Let's see how the bathroom looks like. But it's called the container. R9. I mean, come on, give me a break. This is luxury. I love it. I love this place. Look at how clean and how beautiful it is. Look at the toilet. Look at the bathtub. Everything is perfect. All what you need. I'm super happy and satisfied. Thank you, R9, the yard. You are the great. And if you don't smoke, you'll be rewarded by 50,000 crowns, rupees.